Hello. The next part of the video series I want to talk to you about is specifically looking at banks. Today I looked at the internet and found that a number of large banks had already given out information about how you can access the up to $250,000 loan, which is guaranteed by the Australian Federal Government. It's a loan of up to 3 years. There's a 6 months holiday on repayment of that loan. But importantly, the loan is unsecured lending. That is, the security does not have to be put up by your business or your house or anything else. It's secured by the Australian Federal Government. I encourage you to go to your individual banks and ask for further details of the loan arrangements and of how that you could avail yourself of those loan arrangements. Even if you don't now need the amount of the $250,000, I ask you to look at your business, as I did before in the cash flow section, to look at and see what you have requirements, and to say, well, I might need this in 6 months or whatever period of time, and if this is available and is set up, this will give you the peace of mind and security that you have access to funding. I would encourage everyone to have a look at this on an individual basis. If you need further information, please contact myself or contact any of our staff at CA. The next point I want to talk about is a very limited superannuation early release scheme. The federal government has allowed superannuation members to take up to $10,000 up to 30th of June 2020, or take another $10,000 in the 21 year. That's basically looking at up to June $10,000, in July another 10, which is $20,000, is able to be released from your superannuation fund. Again, you need to look individually at financial advisors, and you need to individually contact us as to whether or not this would be applicable. However, it is again an example of a concession that the government is allowing. So one has to look very carefully at those concessions and decide whether or not they should be applying for you. The next thing I want to look at is a situation where the Australian government is offering $100,000 in a credit against your business activity statement in order to reduce down the otherwise tax payable. This will give rise to what would commonly be called a tax incentive, to allow a cash incentive to allow that cash to be kept aside and not deployed within paying Australian Taxation Office tax payments. The Australian Taxation Office have also deferred the requirement to pay taxes on your BAS, and have deferred that for at least a 3-month period. The mechanism of this deferral is to apply it to your business activity statement of your business, and individually we will be processing those business activity statements for you, and we'll be discussing with you the calculations of the amount of deferment that will apply to your particular business. The business activity statement cycle ends on 31st of March, which is coming up next week, and that business activity statement has to be put in by the 28th of April. However, if you're in a situation where you have a refund on that business activity statement, you can put it in early, and the Australian Taxation Office have indicated that they will allow tax refunds to be processed immediately, and that would be important cash flowing into your business. Another issue of the Australian Taxation Office is the deferment of PAYG instalments of tax of your business, in order that you will not have the pressure on your cash flow, that taxes otherwise that would be payable have now been deferred and would be deferred until 30th of June. Again, we'll have individual issues with you in terms of your own business and the quantum of those deferments on your business. So there's two issues here that we need to carefully look at. We need to look at how you can access the $100,000 under the boosting cash flow for employees Australian Federal Government measures. And the second issue is we need to look at your tax position to decide whether or not we could assist you in deferring and asking for the Taxation Office to have a remittance. And the Australian Taxation Office, under new guidelines, have the opportunity to remit your otherwise payable interest on your tax outstanding. So what we need to do is to focus on how you can get tax advantages of the cash that's coming through with the $100,000, how we can reduce the tax that's otherwise payable up to June, how we can take pressure off those tax payments in your business, and how we can apply to the Australian Taxation Office to reduce or to eliminate interest that otherwise would be payable. These are important points that need to be followed up for every business. Thank you.